All right. All right. So VG, I'm gonna tell a story really quick.
Okay.
So you guys are gonna hear all about my chronic hiccups. Feel free to
Okay.
comment. Feel free to comment, VG, as I go. So I introduced this to chat about the story. Probably what was it? Last week? Last Wednesday? Last Thursday? It was somewhere in there. So I guess just to like summarize quickly, I'll go into detail in a second, but like summarize quickly, I had isolated, diagnosed chronic hiccups from around New Year's in 2019. Or no, 2018. I was still in high school, so it must have been 2017. I was in high school, so it was a while ago. It was 3 or 4 years ago at this point. From around New Year's until like August of that year. So I would hiccup so like it started off faster. So like when it first started, I would hiccup once every 10 to 20 seconds all day, every single day. That probably happened for probably about 2 months. As you can imagine, it wasn't very fun.
Yeah, no. I
um,
imagine that wouldn't be very fun at all.
so after for the first week or two, I was like, you know what, it'll go away. You know, I probably have some weird like stomach bug or whatever. I have some weird like reaction, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So how do my classmates not kick me out? So like the first week or so, it was still over winter break, so it wasn't bad. And after about a week or so, like I was still hiccup, but I was able to like, you'd be like a streamer. I'm making like a face, like a closed mouth face. Like I was able to like keep it like coming out of my nose only, so it was like quiet. It wasn't like every like 10 seconds, which would be super annoying. It was kind of just like a, you know, like when you keep in a hiccup. I would do that every 10 seconds or so, all day, every day. And after like 2 weeks or so total, I was like, okay, this is really weird. This is really weird. Like, okay, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll watch it. We'll see what's happening. And then a month goes by. I'm like, okay, this is still happening. What the fuck is this? What is happening? So we call the hospital at about a month in. And we're like, yeah, what the hell? So can we get this figured out? They're like, oh yeah, sure. Is there anything else going on? And I'm like, no, it's just hiccups. Like, okay, well, we can get an appointment in about a month and a half, 2 months. Like, oh, great, thanks, fuckers. How did I sleep, Neth? It didn't wake me up. So like the first few nights were rough, but I got used to it, you know? So like after like 3 or 4 days, people around me would be like, dude, are you okay? And I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what? Like your hiccups. I'm like, oh, right. Yeah, those. Don't worry about it. Because I got so used to it. It was just like who I was at that point. Because it happened that much. So like the first few days of sleep were rough, but after a while I just got used to it and I'd fall asleep naturally because it was just like what I did. It was like breathing at that point. So yeah, after about 2 months, the frequency started to slow down to about once every 30 seconds to a minute. And I mean, even then, it's still horrible. it's still awful, but it wasn't quite as bad. So eventually the time comes, go to the doctor, check it out. I do so many tests, breathing tests, ultrasound, x-ray, blood test, plasma test, like saliva, like anything you can think of, I did. Nothing came back. 0 results, nothing. They had absolutely no idea what was wrong. They looked in their records, and they're like, yeah, so you are, so like so back home, the hospital I go to is like the best hospital in the state, arguably in the Midwest, the UW-Madison Hospital. It's like known for being one of the best hospitals in like the region. I was their second case of chronic isolated hiccups ever in the history of the hospital being open. So whatever, like 70 years of the hospital existing, I was the second case ever. So I was like, what happened to the other guy? And they're like, well, he had it for a while. We couldn't figure out what was causing it. He tried a lot of drugs. And nothing really worked. I'm like, okay. So I tried drugs for a while. I tried it was like a heartburn type thing where it would like decrease the sensitivity of my esophagus, like trying to like keep it lower, you know? Okay, hold on. Who's talking? Crunch says, did I hear saliva? You did, Crunch. What drugs? I don't know what drugs, honestly. It was a long time ago. I forget. So yep. It was rough. Tried medicine. I think I tried 2 different drugs, both of which had the same purpose, like same like things, like different ways, you know, kind of like ibuprofen versus acetaminophen for like pain. One is like NASID or whatever, and one is the other one, whatever it is. Same idea. Neither worked. So went back into the hospital, said nope, this didn't work. And we're like, so what happened to the first guy? What happened to him? And they were like, well, nothing worked for him. And so he tried a lot of things. He tried like diet restrictions. He tried exercise. He tried medicine. He tried like all kinds of stuff, stretching, whatever. Nothing worked. I'm like, okay, this isn't great. I'm not a fan of this sound. And I'm like, and they're like, okay, he did go to a hypnotist. I'm like, what? And they said, and it worked. It was gone. And I was like, bro, no, there's no way.
What?
I'm like, there's no fucking way this is real. There's no way. And they were like, we can't explain it either. The hypnosis worked for him. We don't know if it'll work for you too. But if you don't want to try diet, I mean, you already exercise. You're an athlete, so you're a healthy person. Exercise won't change anything. Diet probably won't change anything because you eat well already. So our best bet's a hypnotist. And I'm like, there's no way. So I held off about a month for the hypnotist. I'm like, no, it'll go away. Hypnotist, it's totally fake. There's no way it's a real thing. There's no way. But the hiccups were still coming about once. At this point, it was about every once every minute or two. So it had died down still, but still, hiccuping once every minute or two, all day, every day, is not ideal. Shouldn't they recommend you eat worse, stop exercising? Definitely not, Bean. No, that's never a good idea. So eventually I gave in. I called the hypnotist. I called him up. Set up an appointment. Regid, thanks for the follow, man. You come in a weird time, but we're talking about chronic hiccups, so you can watch the VOD later. So I go to the hypnotist. Super skeptical. I walk in. I'm like, no. I'm like, bro, this is a bunch of bullshit. There's no way this is real. Walk up. He's like, yeah. So we'll start off with like a short 50-minute or hour session. See if we can do anything. This guy I went to, it was his first, because the first guy who had hiccups at the hospital was a long time ago. So the hypnotist at that time that I went to didn't exist yet. So the guy I went to, it was like, yeah, I've never dealt with hiccups before. He's helped people like smokers. He's helped them quit. He's done like sports psychologists. He's done like sports hypnotism, stuff like that. Anything else you can think of, but yeah, the medical stuff was a first for him. And I was like, hey man, I'm open to anything at this point. I'll try it out. So I went to the hypnotist, did a session. The hypnosis itself was odd. So like, walking into this, I had never had. Oh my god, Breakers with the raid. Oh my god, Breakers, yo, thanks for stream, man. How is your stream? This timing is hilarious. Oh my god. So I went to this hypnotist, and Aaron, shut up. And
Yo, Ern.
and
What up, Ern?
I went to this hypnotist, and being on hypnosis was odd. So like, I walked in, a total skeptic. Like, this is definitely not going to work. This is totally fake. I don't believe in hypnosis at all. And he put me under. Like, I'm like, okay, sure, put under. I felt like I was just lying there, kind of just being still, whatever. It didn't feel like it was like anything special. So he eventually like pulled me out or whatever. First question he asks, he goes, okay, if you had to guess, how long were you under for? I was like, I said, oh, I'm guessing it was just an intro. It was like 10 minutes. He's like, you've been under for about an hour and a half. I was like, bro, what? What, dude, are you talking about? So time flew crazy fast while I was under. The memories that I had from the session itself aren't super clear. Like, I remember, like, at one point, he was talking about a dragon or something. I don't know why, but he was. That's, like, the one thing that sticks in my head. I was, like, picturing some, like, red dragon in my head for some reason. I have no idea. So, I was in there for an hour and a half. Left the thing. Had hiccups the rest of the day. Like, all right, it didn't work. Whatever, we tried. Went to bed. The next day, they were gone. The hiccups were gone the next day. I was like, I woke up. I'm like, yo, this is not real. This is not real. This is not happening right now. I woke up the entire day. Didn't hiccup once. And I'm like, this is unfreaking real. So I gave it a week. The hiccups kind of came back a little bit after like 3 or 4 days. Once every 10 to 20 minutes. Much less frequently. But they're kind of there. So I call him again. I'm like, dude, it worked. Can I do this again? Went back in like another week later. Did it again. And then from that point, they were gone forever. I have to tell you guys, I cannot make this up. I know it sounds insane. It is the realest story you'll hear in your entire life. It is absolutely insane how it happened. No clue what happened. No clue how it worked, but it did. Unfreaking real. I know, VG. Isn't it fucking nuts?
That doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest.
Everyone I tell a story to is like, no, you're totally bullshitting me. And I'm like, no, I swear on my life, I'm not. As pooled up kid, thanks to follow, man. So if, do you guys remember, Kineman? The person in the chat? She was a friend of mine when it happened. If she comes back in chat, feel free to ask her. She will verify the story. Unfreaking real. Okay, there you go. Arc Blight, thanks to follow, man. Any questions? Okay, hold on, I gotta look at chat.